Hello, in today's video we're going to talk about the 5 things you must know as a business owner, especially if you're in the field of technology, before you engage in the business or as you're conducting your business. My name is Jubin Dana with Dana Legal Services, and I'm here to tell you about the 5 important things that every business owner must keep in mind, especially business owners that are dealing with development of technology. So here we go. Number 1. If you plan to keep certain things very secretive, so example, your source code or your customer list, you must make sure that you put steps in place to protect those things as a trade secret. So the number one thing is make sure you protect your trade secrets using certain contractual agreements with your employees and contractors that identify specific things as highly confidential and that those things must be kept as a trade secret. Number 2, if you have a brand and you plan on selling things under that brand, whether it's goods or services, make sure you protect that brand and make sure you know that that brand is available to be protected. What does that brand represent? It could be your company name, if your company name is what you're associating with all of the goods or services, or it could be a secondary or a different name specific to each line of goods. Let's say you have 5 different product lines. Those could each have their own branding, or they could all be branded under your company name. Again, number 2 is make sure you trademark or protect your brand so that others can't jump in and stop you after 5-6 years of success with your company and your name is recognized and somebody comes along and says, hey, you can't use that, that's our brand. The third thing I want to tell you is if your people or if your employees are innovating, then it's really important that you protect the functionality to the extent that you want to monetize it. For example, that would be done through patent protection. So it's really important to think a little bit about the kinds of things that you're offering as goods or services and whether or not those things are protectable under patents. Now, you can speak to a patent attorney and they can give you guidance on that, or feel free to call us. We can help you with that. So number 1 is trade secret. Number 2 is trademarks. Number 3 is patent protection. Number 4 is if you're producing things that are distributed or reproduced, such as images, such as discs, such as DVDs, such as music, it is really important that you protect those things using copyrights. For example, if you're putting together a manual of instructions for how to do something, whether it's a product that you sell or whether it's how to do something in terms of steps you follow to, for example, change the oil on your car, and you create that manual, it is really important that you protect that so other people can't go and just reproduce it and copy it. Recently, one of my friends contacted me and asked me about a particular piece of information that he had created and given to other people and distributed it, and then all of a sudden he saw it on the news where someone was being interviewed on the news and was actually using his work. It was basically a set of instructions and they blotted out the copyrights. Unfortunately, he didn't have that registered as a copyright, so until he registers it, his rights are limited. However, it is important to do that as part of your business. So number 1, trade secrets. Number 2, can you get something trademarked, such as your brand? Number 3, are you innovating and creating things? That's a patent in a sense of functionality. Number 4 is copyrights. Do you create content that can be reproduced, distributed? Well, that you need to protect through copyrights. And the last thing I want to tell you is make sure that anyone that comes into your employment has signed an employment agreement and you understand that they don't have any conflict with their previous employment and that employment agreement. For example, you don't want to hire someone to write code for you and employ them and then have them use code that they wrote for somebody else in your products. That can lead to problems. So the one thing that you have to make sure after you've considered trade secrets, trademarks, patents, copyrights is whether or not there is an actual employment agreement in place between you and your new employee, as well as whether that new employee came from a place that put them under certain restrictions or obligations, to make sure that they don't bring stuff with them from the previous employer and introduce it into your product line. I'm Jubin Dana with Dana Legal Services. Those are the 5 things you need to keep in mind as a business owner to ensure that you don't run into legal issues and all your innovation and creativity belongs to you and is protected. If you have any questions, give us a call. Here's our contact info. Look forward to hearing from you and helping you.